Okay, it's 6 o'clock. Let's get our meeting started. Stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, let's bow our head for prayer. Lord, we thank you for this day. We thank you for your blessings. We ask you that you'll help us, that we can make good decisions, God. We ask you to direct us. I ask you to bless this nation, bless and help peace come on those that are troubled. God, we ask you to let your will be done. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, we'll call the meeting to order. All the magistrates here, and when you get ready, we're doing this a little bit different, trying to make the video a little more better quality. So if anybody speaks, you need to speak into the mic, because the OWL camera is not picking up anything. It's all going through the PA system into the computer. So we're trying to make that better. So if you don't care, just make sure you got your mic on whenever you get ready to speak. We need approval of the meeting minutes from the May 20 meeting. Motion by Carl. Second by Kevin. All in favor? All right, motion carries. Thank you. Okay, we move on to new business. The roads monthly report.
The crew's been very busy on various tasks. We've been pothole patching. We also repaired a guardrail in Wolf Pen. We're going to be ordering end caps for the guardrail for Lockport Falls to extend it and repair it. We also installed a driveway pipe on driveway pipe on Mount Gilead and a culvert on Morris Lane. Been grading several gravel roads and hauling rock to the gravel roads as well. Bush hogging, both the tractors are out bush hogging, and so is the bushwhacker. The bushwhacker is on Clemens Bottom, and we've got the paver in the shop getting it serviced and ready for blacktop and patching. And that is it.
Any questions for Zach? I will say that the milling machine that we ordered, it should be in any time, so hopefully we'll have that where we can cut the keys, where we can do a little better job with the paving. So it's all been ordered and taken care of. Okay, committee report. Brad?
Went over different things. When we're going to start doing the base failure patches and some culverts to replace. One of the things I thought about today that Zach was telling us about, he was bush hogging, and the rod come through the back window on the tractor.
I think it come through the side window.
Well, okay. I was thinking we might need to put some shields on the back of the tractor, on the cab. I know it's hard to do, but
We've got shield on one of those.
on the forward, I think. I don't think we got them on the
But
jump.
yeah, we can get,
Maybe look into it. I don't know, but anyway.
well, we can probably get some grate from one of the crushers at the
Right.
quarry.
Right. Yeah.
They'll let us use them.
Yeah, that's kind of scary, but
Yes, that could have been bad. It
Yeah.
busted glass.
yeah, and we discussed the bush hogging situation, since we short of help, maybe contracting out a few miles, and of course we talked with you this morning and Travis, and I think it's going to be a good idea. Hopefully it works out. It cuts the employees loose to do some ditching and keep the roads in better shape. And I did make a motion and to put the advertise for the new dump truck, put it out for bids.
All right, this is the truck that we had in the budget already, but we need to have a motion made so we can put that out for bid and get the ball rolling on getting the new dump truck. That'll be a dump truck, snow plow, and salt spreader. Got a motion and second by Danny. All in favor? All right, we'll get that done. Okay, next, yes, sir.
The other day, we had to go out and assess our roads in the district and such. Is there going to be a sheet showing what road in our district will get some improvements, or how will we know to tell people
Yes,
in our district what's going on?
Here's what we're doing, Roger, maybe just so the public even knows. We are putting in for flex funds from the state. So we've filled all the paperwork out but one road today to put that in, and we've got the list of all the ones that's going to be worked on in your district and, well, every district. I think everybody's getting something but Ed. I think he got left out. But he's in the same district that I was when I was a magistrate, and it don't have much county road other than Giltner. So that we do have a list, so I can get that for you tomorrow even if you want me to.
Well, I'd appreciate it. That way when people are saying, which, every road has an issue.
Yes, absolutely, yes.
So at least I'll be able to inform those that want to know.
And we've only got so much money for blacktop, but, I mean, we could pave every road in the county and not be wasting money.
And still have to do it again next year.
And I'm sure Larry and the state crew will tell you the same thing. They could do the same thing, not be wasting money. But, okay, but I'll get that to you.
Thank you.
Okay, we're going to open the bids for the asphalt, rock, and the chip and seal. And Salt, you want to come back to it. We'll, as soon as you get that worked in, we'll come back to that. Next, we got the rural secondary program, the recommendations from the state. And thank all you guys for being here, and we appreciate what you do, and you can go ahead and make your presentation.
All right, thank you, Judge Bates.
Turn that, yes, sir, there you go.
Good? Can you hear me? All right. Good afternoon, Judge Bates and members of the court. My name is Tom Hall. I'm the KYTC's District 5 Planning Section Supervisor from the Louisville office. And the purpose of our visit today is to get concurrence from the county on what rural secondary roadways we intend to pave. Our goal is to make sure that we're resurfacing the right roads that, and we get agreement from the local government on that. And a little bit of, first of all, let me give some introductions, and then I'll get into the purpose of why we do what we do. Again, my name is Tom Hall. I'm the Planning Section Supervisor. And we have Seth Growthhouse. What Seth does is he does maintenance and construction work for us here in Henry County. We have Larry Cheney, and Larry Cheney is really the muscle behind our rural secondary program. He coordinates all 8 counties' programs, and all I got to do is get up here and talk about it. So thanks, Larry. And then next to him, we got Matt Bullock. He's our chief district engineer in charge of the whole district. And then we have Mike Dees, and he works with Seth in maintenance and construction. All right, so a little bit about our road system. The state maintains these big roads. Our main purpose of our roadway system is to get people from city to city, state to state. And we have actually 3 networks of roads. State primary roads like interstates and parkways, state secondary roads like, say, US 421. And then we have these roads, our smaller state roads. They're called rural secondary roads. And they connect that big network of our roads with the county's local network. And that is really the essence of why it's important to get concurrence. We want to make sure that we're making the proper connections to the local roadway system, to the state roadway system. And so concurrence is something that's really required by state law, and so that's why we're here. But it's really for a really great purpose. What I like to do is mention to you what we did last year, and hopefully we did what we said we did. So real quickly, I'll go over those two roads that we worked on last year. The first one was Kentucky 1360. That was Franklinton Road from Kentucky 22 to Bullet Hill. That work is substantially complete. There's some touch-up work that needs to be done, but we have until the end of the month to get that done. The other roadway that we resurfaced last year was Smithfield Road. That's Kentucky 1861 from Kentucky 22 to Kentucky 322, and that road is resurfaced as well. And like I say, there's some touch-up work that needs to be done, but we have until the end of the month for the contractor to do that. And the contractor we have on that was awarded that job was Louisville Paving. Okay, so that brings us to this year's proposed program. What I like to do is walk through the long sheet. This is our actually program sheet, and maybe you guys have a copy. We can walk through it a little bit. But what I'll do is talk through the numbers and let you know where all the money goes and how it all fans out. But we start with a prior year balance. That's money that was left over from last year. We had a $127 left over from last year, and then the initial allotment for fiscal year 25-26 is $1,201,013, and we add those together, and so the total amount of money available for RS work is $1,322,140. Okay, now there's a number of items we take off the top before we can actually have money remaining to do actual resurfacing on roads, and I'll talk about what each of those items that come off the top first are. And the first thing is that we have a crew in Henry County that does routine maintenance and does things like patching potholes and snow and ice, and we have to skim off a bunch of money for that work first. And we kind of do that by mile. There's 144.31 miles of rural secondary roads, these small state roads in Henry County, which is a lot compared to other counties in our district. And that's an average of at an average of $4,993 a mile, we take off $720,600 off of that $1,322,140. So that leaves us $601,540 to keep going. The second thing we take off is what's called flex funds, and I think I heard Judge Bates talking about that. The neat thing about this program is the state offers a portion of this rural secondary money for county governments to go out and do resurfacing on their local roads. And our understanding is that Henry County is going to use that money to resurface some of their local roads. The amount of money is $120,101, and the county works directly with our Rural and Municipal Aid Office to select those roads and get an agreement for the funding. But when we take that money off, we end up with $481,439 to work on projects. One other tiny thing that sometimes gets skimmed off is a county judge expense. They used to give that to sitting judges, I'd say 5 or 8 years ago. That was an expense that was removed by the legislature. And so we don't actually do that with judges anymore. It was only a sum of like $3,000 or something. So anyhow, what that leaves us with is $481,439 to do some resurfacing work. And our maintenance guys have selected these two roads, which I'll talk about in detail. The first one is Kentucky 1861, Smithfield Road, from Kentucky 322 to Kentucky 55. And that's actually a continuation of what we did last year on Kentucky 1861. So that's kind of just continuing on. It's 5.441 miles of resurfacing work at a cost, our estimated cost of $409,808. And so that leaves us about $71,631 to do some more work. So the other project we would like to propose is Kentucky 389 over by the Kentucky River on the eastern part of the county. We would propose to resurface 389 from Marshall Bottom Road to Bowling Branch Road. That's 1.274 miles of resurfacing, and our cost estimate's about $90,860, which is a little bit more than what we are in our budget. But if we overrun the budget a little bit, that comes off of next year. If we have a little left over, it carries into the next year, and it's just a minor budgeting issue. But those are the two roads we would propose to the county for concurrence, for resurfacing. The rest of Kentucky 1861 and then Kentucky 389 River Road between Marshall Bottom Road and Bowling Branch Road. And usually concurrence is done in Henry County by a resolution, and we've kind of talked a little bit about that. So I guess at this point, if you have any questions, we'll take your questions.
Anybody got any questions? Go ahead, Roger.
I don't have a question, I've got a recommendation, though. And I know all roads need some work, but we're going to start paying attention to Highway 153 in between Highway 146 and 712. We've got an awful lot of heavy traffic coming down through there, and there's probably a half dozen failures that I can tell that are getting worse every day. So at some point in time, this road's getting dangerous.
Okay, and that was between 712 and...
712 and 146 LaGrange
Okay.
Road. There's a steel company down there that's doing a lot of work, a lot of commerce, and I see a lot of trucks. I see a lot of trucks coming between 71 over to 64, and that's a route that they would take as well.
Instead of taking 55 across, they're coming off at Pendleton, cutting through there, through Smithfield. There is a lot of truck traffic on that road, and the shoulders are not, there's no shoulders. I'm getting complaints on that, and we've been talking with the Safe Streets for All people, trying to get something else done there, maybe to get a little extra money to help fix that, because in those curves, the trucks, their wheels is getting off the road, and that just makes that shoulder deeper and deeper. And so, yeah, it's definitely a problem.
Yes. Down the road, if we get some attention on Highway 574 from Highway 193 to 421 through Turner Station, that road's getting in really bad shape. A lot of base failures where if you're not paying attention to what you do, it'll take you off the road.
Anybody else? I know everybody's got roads, but
So last year, we were at Legislative Day in Frankfort, and there was talk about the widening project for Main Street and Eminence between 22 and out past the church. And it was my understanding at the time that it was a priority one, and that the money had been allocated for it. Is that correct?
that I don't think that's until like 2027 or 8. It's North Main there, Larry. We've talked about it in several meetings, but I think the funding don't come. That's one thing we don't realize when that's not real secondary.
Right.
But you know, you get a road on the list, that don't mean it's going to get fixed that year. It's on the list, but sometimes it gets bumped down the road. But
Yeah, I was just trying to find out where we are in line, you know, for that. I know that's a state highway.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Well, yeah, I think that Judge Bates has really kind of hit the nail on the head, is that we operate off of a 6-year highway plan, and the first 2 years of the 6-year highway plan are actually scheduled real funding, and then the 4 years that are out years beyond that are years that they have to be renegotiated in the legislature 2 years later. And so they're sort of planned, but they're not funded. And so what we'll ultimately have to do is the legislature will meet in January. They'll come up with a new highway plan that we'll all see in probably April of 2026, and we'll open up the book, and if that's funded, we'll work on it.
Yes, it gets frustrating sometimes to us hearing about it, but it does take it's a process.
It
And,
is.
I mean, that North Main job's been talked about ever since I got elected as magistrate, which was, I guess, 12, 13 years ago now. Anybody else got anything? I know Brad don't want nothing done on 389. They already funding it, ain't they? Okay, so we've got, turn your mic on, Brad.
Motion to accept their proposal on the roads, 389 and the other one.
No, 389 wasn't on it.
Yeah, part of it is. A mile, I'll take all I can get, son.
All right, motion and a second by Carl. All in favor? All right, thank you all, thank you for coming.
All right, well, thanks for having us.
We appreciate it.
All right.
One more thing I want to just, before you all do leave, and I know Larry knows about this too, we've discussed this in meetings, but the Smithfield Crossroads down there was another bad accident down there today. I think that the only thing that's going to fix that, and I hate it, I almost feel like I'm sinning when I say this, but a roundabout, I think, is the only thing that's going to fix that road. Because it'll at least, they'll either fly over it or they'll slow down to go around it, one of the two. But I think there's probably enough money or enough property already there. That intersection is so big, I think you could probably almost put the roundabout in without even having to acquire any more right-of-way. So just keep that in your mind, because I thought when they fixed all the lights, the money they spent on it the last time, I thought that would take care of it. But I believe they're wrecking more now than they ever was. But I know people are not paying attention.
They're running over lights.
Yeah, it's an unusual
Yes, sir.
arrangement at an intersection. But that's one of those things where it's another project where if we can get it in the highway plan, we're happy to work on it if it's funded. And a lot of the getting a project in the highway plan is really, really dependent on talking to the state legislatures and making sure that they understand it's a priority for Henry County.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And like that, another deal with that Safe Streets for All, we've been bringing this up with them, and so hopefully we can get something done sooner or later on that.
Yeah, and that's another thing, is that we're willing to work, the state DOTs, we're willing to work with local governments on trying to partner for those type of projects. It's important if the counties want to go in and apply for SS4A grant money.
Yes, sir.
It's really important to coordinate with us at the state level so we understand what your intent is and how we might work together to implement a project
Yeah.
like that. And we're kind of working with Trimble County on some stuff like that, so we know it can work.
Yes, sir. All right, thank you all. Okay, by passing that, we need to read this resolution and pass it. Resolution approving projects recommended by District 5 maintenance staff of the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet for the 2025-26 rural secondary program, whereas it would be to benefit of the traveling public to perform routine maintenance and resurfacing of various rural secondary roads located in Henry County, Kentucky, and whereas District 5 maintenance staff of Kentucky Transportation Cabinet has made a listing of recommendation for projects in Henry County as presented to Henry County Fiscal Court. Now therefore be it resolved by the County of Henry that in order to benefit the traveling public, the Henry County Fiscal Court hereby approves the project recommendations made by District 5 maintenance staff of the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet for the rural secondary program for the 25-26 fiscal year as contained in the attached list, which is incorporated herein by reference as if fully set forth in this resolution. I need a motion for that. All right, motion by Ed, second by Brad. All in favor? All right, motion carries. Thank you. I'll sign that. Yes, we'll go ahead and go back to the bid so that we can let these guys, I know some of them's here, so we can let them know who won the bids.
Okay, so we had 4 bids, Louisville Paving, Mago, Hinkle, and Shelbyville Asphalt. So that the bids came in for, picked up at plant. So for Hinkle, surface was $83.25, binder was $82.25, base was $81.25. For Mago, surface was $79 even, binder was $78 even, and base was $75 even. For Shelbyville Asphalt, it was the same $79 for surface, binder $78, and base $75 per ton. Mago also had a cold mix for $135 a ton. The other bids did not have that on there. And for laid, Hinkle was surface at $97 a ton, binder at $96 a ton, and base at $95 a ton. Mago laid was $89.75 per ton. Louisville Paving submitted a bid, but it didn't match with what our advertisement. It had the roads listed for a lump sum of $397,570, where the bids or the advertisement was requesting picked up and laid by the ton.
Okay, so what's your pleasure on this? It looks like Mago is going to be the cheapest for picked up and for laid. Ain't that right? Oh. Okay, we got a motion to go with the Mago bid. Motion by Brad, second by Carl. All in favor? All right, we'll accept Mago's bid then. Thank you all. Thank you.
And do we ever use Shelby if it's closer or it's the same price?
It's the same. One other thing we probably need to do, Shelbyville Asphalt is the same price as Mago, because a lot of times Mago in Lockport's not running. So we probably need to put it on the record that we can get from Shelbyville Asphalt for the same price if Mago's not running in Lockport. So is that okay with everybody? All right. Okay. Thank you, Bobby.
Okay, so that was the black top portion. We had one bid for rock for number 2 limestone, $17.30 a ton. Number 3 limestone, $17.30 a ton. Number 4 limestone, $18.90 a ton. Number 8 limestone, $18.90 a ton. 57 limestone, $18.90 a ton. 610 limestone, $17.30 a ton. Dense grade, $17.30 a ton. Limestone dust, $16.80 a ton. Channel liner class 2, $25 a ton, and class 3 channel liner, $28 a ton.
All right, so we'll have to accept that bid. Somebody want to make a motion?
Accept the bid.
All right, motion by Ed, second by Brad. All in favor? All right, motion carries. Thank you.
Okay,
What makes that bad, I know I'm just jumping on a dead horse here, but, I mean, it ain't been but I was looking at the 2014 budget the other day, and it was, we was paying like 8 something a ton for the rock in, and it's that much difference, and we've checked all around, and the only thing we can do is go to Indiana and get it cheaper, but, we try to buy local.
Well, speaking of going up, I've got the salt bids. So we did not get any actual sealed bids for the salt. We advertised that way. We also did the CAECO reverse auction, which is what we went with last year. The CAECO reverse auction for salt had 3 companies bidding on it. The lowest price, so it went from $160 a ton to $121 a ton, which was the winner of Morton Salt, Inc. So we need to accept that bid. Last year, our lowest on that was $97.50 a ton.
All right, motion by Brad, second by Kevin, all in favor? All right, motion carries. Okay, I done it.
Your two.
Didn't receive anything, and I don't, do we have any projects in the
We don't have anything. Reason we put that on there last year, we was looking at, Lecomp's Bottom over there, thinking about that hill, trying to do something with it, but it was more expensive than if we just blacktopped it, and we sure don't want to, as steep as that hill is, we blacktopped it, we wouldn't find them till they hit the river if it was a slick day, you know, and we don't want to be one of our trucks. Yeah, that's true. All right, I think we got all that. We'll move on to planning and zoning, solid waste. Jason?
So last month, electrical permits, we had 15. Building permits, we had 36. And the next Board of Adjustments meeting will be Monday, July 28th at 6 p.m. here. And the next Planning and Zoning meeting is July 9th at 6 p.m. here.
All right, any questions for Jason? Thank you. Okay, Parks and Fairgrounds, Toby?
We've been staying busy with grass cutting and weed eating, also prepping for ball games. And splash pad, I spoke about a pressure control valve getting installed. We did get that installed a couple days where we could start the splash pad open before opening date, May 24th. We have new hours for the splash pad. It is 10 to 8 daily, 10 to 5:30 on the weekends. We also have Henry County Fair coming up Tuesday, the 24th through the 28th, and a small upgrade to Harry Hill Park. With the help of Travis, we started framework on a new batting cage.
All right, any questions for Toby? They've been very busy trying to keep ahead of the grass. All right, we'll move on to Animal Services. Is Daniel?
I've got Danielle's report. She wasn't able to make it today. So for adoptions, they received $1,750. Donations came in for the month, $1,170 for a grand total of $2,920. They had 13 adoptions, rescue transfers of 37, return to owners 2, total dogs out 52, and the system or shelter are 33. Says we want to thank all the rescues that have helped us out so much this month: Kentucky Humane Society of Oldham County, Animal Care Society, Happy Life Beagle Rescue, Shamrock Pet Foundation, Inc., Hound Song, SOS Beagle Rescue, Inc., Livestock Guardian Dog Rescue. They have an adoption events on June 7th, Smithfield Day, June 14th, they had it at Newcastle, and then June 21st at the Henry County Public Library.
All right, committee report. Roger, did y'all meet?
We
Didn't meet this month. We had, it's going good enough that we didn't meet.
Okay. We'll move on to Economic Development Committee.
Same story. It's no meeting for the committee. There was nothing really to discuss.
Okay. Just so everybody knows, we have Jessica Moore here. She's the new director for the I-71, the counties group. Jessica, would you like to just address the court for a minute? She's a homegrown girl from Lockport, so so hopefully she'll stay with us, and she's got a lot of connections out in the state.
Yeah, so it is nice to see you and to meet some of you. My name is Jessica Moore, and like you said, I'm from Lockport, born and raised. I reside in Carroll County now, but have always kind of been in the region. I took over, I don't know what it is, a month now, and so I'm making my way to all the fiscals, getting to know our magistrates, and kind of spending some time with our judges, trying to figure out what our county priorities are, and then how we take those and establish them regionally so that we're making the largest impact. So, you'll see me here monthly, and if there's anything you need from me, let me know. And if not, I'm happy to answer any questions. If you don't know much about KETA, or if there's anything I can do to, help in the meantime. I'm just doing a lot of shaking hands right now, getting to know everybody and kind of figuring out what we've got going on and where we can make the most impact.
Jessica, I'm Roger Hartledge, magistrate, but some of the feeling that I get from the public is that Henry County's been involved with the I-71 Association for a number of years now, but we've really not felt like we've gotten our money's worth out of it. So we'd like to see some emphasis on the available properties in Henry County be pushed to the state as well as through the association, the I-71 Association. So Henry County needs a little more love than I think what we've seen in the past.
You can't love it much more than I do, I promise. So I hear you loud and clear, and I think there's a lot of work we can do. There's some KPDI opportunity, and Judge and I have already talked about some opportunity here in our own county. So I look forward to kind of flipping the script on that and changing that up. Anything else?
But she does, Roger, just to let you know, she's not a greenhorn to this. She's been in the economic development. That's what she's trained for, and she's got some stuff done in the state. So I think we'll see some results.
Yeah, so I was in Frankfurt with the Kentucky Chamber of Commerce for almost 10 years and worked on a statewide relationship with our legislative leaders, our business leaders, and kind of our communities in between. I went to the private world and worked for a nonprofit in Louisville for a while, and then came back to Carroll County, which is where I reside, and I run the local chamber there. And then, so when this opportunity came about, it's perfect. It's the region I love, and I do have a large network across the state with everyone that kind of needs to be in the same room, so I'm ready to make some impact here.
Thank you,
Okay.
Jessica.
You're so welcome.
All right, we'll move on to the sheriff's report. Keith.
All right, we received 232 calls from KSP Dispatch, 123 calls into the sheriff's office, had 66 citations or criminal summons, 33 criminal arrests, 16 warrant arrests, served 120 court papers, transported 1 fugitive, had 65 vehicle inspections, 10 carry conceal license, and 7 drug charge arrests.
All right, any questions for Keith?
Where are we on the drug task force thing right now?
I received an email the other day from the Commonwealth Attorney. We got some pretty good news back from the Attorney General's office on the abatement money. The director's position looks like can be paid for out of the abatement money. I think they just wanted an insurance policy, if you will, to know that we was fine on using that. As of now, we have 4 counties, Henry, Carroll, Trimble, and Oldham County, that's signed on. I spoke with Owen County yesterday, and I'm supposed to be getting on their fiscal court, and we'll add on as we go. So spoke with Courtney Baxter. She is the Commonwealth Attorney, and we're going to have another meeting pretty soon to go ahead and try to form the board. I'd say by year's end, hopefully, we'll have a function and an operating task force. which is going to bring a lot of resources to this county. Officers outside of this county will be here working narcotics, so be good.
And it's a process, and we did want to make sure that the opioid money could be spent on this. We really needed something from the Attorney General to give us that definite, and so we feel like we got that now. So I feel like it's going the right direction.
And the way he did, but I feel better. I feel I can sleep better at night knowing he said we could, though.
Thank you, Keith. All right, we'll move on to the National Weather Service, Louisville. They're here to present. Sorry, I didn't get your name beforehand, but thank you for coming.
That's okay. Good evening, everyone, and Judge Bates. I'm Mike Kochasik with the National Weather Service out of Louisville. We are the office that provides Henry County here forecasts, watches, and warnings. So whenever your TV program gets interrupted, on Sunday afternoon with something coming across the TV, that's our office that's doing that to keep folks safe here. So that's not the reason I'm here tonight, to interrupt your programming. I'm just here to congratulate you all on becoming storm ready. So at one point in time, you mentioned you were elected judge back, 12, 13 years ago. That's probably about the time that you fell off the storm ready bandwagon. So I don't know who was in charge of that, but
I've just been elected judge for 3 years, so I was magistrate then.
Gotcha. So anyway, no fault, we're back online and you're back on track. So congratulations, you're now recognized as storm ready by the National Weather Service. So what that means is that it's a program that the National Weather Service certifies severe planning in your counties. So Ian has done great work along with Amy to ensure that there's a high standard here in Henry County of preparedness. So you have multiple ways to receive information from the National Weather Service, but you also have multiple ways to push it back out to staff, residents, and folks in the community around, town and whatnot. So that's really great. They've also gone through the process to ensure proper coordination with the National Weather Service, as well as community planning and events for making sure that folks know what a watch and a warning is, the proper preparedness activities when something happens. So that's all great stuff. Not every county can do this. You are now one of about 85 counties across the Commonwealth of 120 that have gone through this process. So there are some counties that are unable or even unwilling to meet the standards to become storm ready. And there's a few things you have to do, and Ian has done a great job as part of his team to ensure that you've gone through the process to do it. So congratulations. As part of that storm ready certification, you get one free sign from the government here. It says, "We are storm ready."
Hold on.
We can get a group photo here in a minute if you want. Most counties do. And it's a 4-year at a time certification. So got a certificate of completion here, as well as a letter signifying that you are now storm ready for the next at least 4 years, and assuming that Ian and Amy or someone else that comes in after you all, if you're still here on greener pastures, but we'll just renew it. The hard thing is to get it, but then once you are online, it's real easy to keep it, I promise. So congratulations to you all. You are storm ready, and I don't know if you want to get a photo together.
Yes, sir. I'd like for the whole fiscal court to get a photo, if you don't mind. And I want to say thanks to Ian and Amy. They have went above and beyond to try to get this. I think we was kind of behind times on being ready, and we've really tried to improve emergency management in the county, and I think it's going the right direction. It costs a lot of money for emergency management, but I think it's very necessary. So thank you all.
I can tell you they're worth every penny. I mean, you guys call me back every time I call you about something, and Henry County is no stranger, as you all know, to storms and severe weather. The most recent ones I can think of is the tornadoes back in April of 24. That's not that long ago. So storm ready doesn't mean you're storm proof. I wish I could make you all storm proof, but you are ready for the next one with all the plans that Ian and Amy have put in place.
Yes, thank you. Let's get a picture right quick, so he probably don't want to stay that long. I don't know, we'll have to figure it out. He said they're $50 a sign, how many signs you want?
Yeah, I mentioned to Judge, I should have said that before I left, but they're $50 a piece if you'd like to order more through our vendor. But a lot of times counties copy that sign if they have a county road sign department, and they can make them sometimes cheaper than that. $50 a piece, I think, is based on the last sheet metal price I had seen, so sometimes that can fluctuate a little cheaper or more expensive. But you already have signs up around the county I've seen, but they're pretty dilapidated from 15 at least years ago. So if you want to refresh, they're at least $50 a piece. Most counties put them up on road sign, like most of the main entryways in their counties. You know, I've seen them on interstates, I've seen them on U.S. highways. So it's really up to you. Or if you want them in your offices, that's cool too. So.
All right, thank you, Mike.
You bet.
Okay, we'll move on to the second reading of the fiscal court's 26-year budget. Everybody has had their budget, and is there any questions? Anybody want to make a motion to pass it, or we've made a couple of changes, I know. All right, motion by Brad, second by Carl. All in favor? All right, motion carries. Thank you. Okay, we move on to claims and transfers. Any questions? I know Roger had a question beforehand about the water bill. Why was we paying an $800 water bill in Newcastle? But it's several buildings, it's courthouse and all the buildings, so just so you know, it's not just our office. All right, motion by Kevin to approve. Second by Danny. All in favor? All right, motion carries. Okay, move on to public comments. 3 minutes per speaker. Anybody in the public want to speak? Amy, go ahead.
Last month, I've been messaging with someone, I'm not quite sure who, on the county Facebook page, upcoming meetings and agendas for all county government committees, as well as posting meeting minutes. I brought it up last month, and I asked if there was a vote. And the response that I got was, everything is discussed at fiscal court. So I'm wondering where we stand on that, and maybe if we get a motion to move forward on that. That's my first comment.
We don't have to have a motion on that. We're working on getting the details of that worked out, but we don't need a motion to do that.
Okay. I had also asked about posting all open positions for committees and councils for anything with regard to local government. Doesn't have to be an additional expense to the county, but if we do that on the Facebook page or make notice to city meetings, then there might be more involvement through the county. If we can look at addressing that, because
yes, ma'am, and we are. We're working on how we can get. We got to. The part of the problem with it is we got a timeline on some of these positions, but we can put that out there where people can apply. Now, just because people apply don't mean we have
totally agree. They have to be.
But it gives you some more.
A larger pool.
Yes.
To choose from.
So I don't disagree with you on that.
Okay.
Yes,
Thank you
ma'am.
very much.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Hi, my name's Carolyn.
Push that button. Yes, ma'am.
My name's Carolyn Cox, and I'm from Port Royal, Kentucky. And I have several issues, and one is the traffic by the Newcastle Elementary School. When they're picking up their children, getting into those government offices, getting in and out is impossible. So I suggest perhaps you all put a sign saying do not block this parking lot or this drive, or even whatever fence that is between the school and the parking lot, maybe put a gate in there. I don't know who that belongs to, but maybe consider that so they can actually be in the gravel. As I was researching that, I spoke with the principal, and he would like to see a blinking light on Property Road by the school at the crosswalk to keep those children safe, because he says they have a whole lot of trouble with people running through them, standing out there trying to stop them. My third thing, the guys already left, was our civil defense siren in Port Royal needs to be online. I know that it's like the federal government was supposed to do this, but then Henry County told me over the phone that they have taken it over because the feds just are playing around. So if we could get that online, we would appreciate that. She took my last two things. The comments, if you all could be more high profile on social media, including like zoning requests, because we don't all get the paper, but I think most of us, do follow social media, especially Facebook. And then the final thing was the YouTube minutes that you all put up. You're talking about the people don't see those for a month because they have to be approved and they have to be this and they have to be that. If they could just be put out, I mean, it is what it is, and so perhaps if it came out quicker, more people would know what's going on.
I don't think we can legally put the minutes out until they're approved. We can put the video out, but we can't put the minutes out until they vote on them. So that's what the holdup is on that, is legality.
Well, the video would be us here, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, that would help.
Well, I think we're putting it on faster now, aren't we?
Yeah, it was like the next day, last month.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. We're
'Cause it was-
working on all that.
It was a month and a half that I
And
got
even
involved
the
in that.
PA system, we're trying to get it where we can get the sound better. We're trying to get all those things worked out.
I appreciate you all.
And then on the siren, there's a timer. But on the siren, we are working on getting, who's supposed to be putting the pole up? KU?
So they had originally said they were going to move it, yes. And I've called a couple times, so.
So hopefully, and Ben Parker has done told us to put it right there beside his building. He don't want it right in the middle of his lot, and I don't
Correct.
blame him at all.
Correct.
So we're gonna move that to right beside his building in that fence
Yeah,
row.
they have a place marked where they would like for it to go.
Yes, ma'am. That's right. He's already marked it. So, and then Keith, do you want to say anything about the school? I've talked with Keith about this too.
I spoke with superintendent, and he says he hasn't received it. Have you talked to the board office about the?
I spoke to the, I spoke to the principal of Newcastle Elementary.
He was going to speak with them and get back with them, but we haven't talked about it since. But he says he hasn't received any complaints, the superintendent at the board office, but he was going to check.
But I know it's legit because they line up all the way up.
Oh, yeah, and if you try to back out, they're jerks.
Yes, ma'am.
They will blow their
Yes,
horns
ma'am.
and,
So it is it is under the radar.
It would be simple just to put signs up telling them not to block.
But people don't pay much attention to signs a lot of times.
Well, then we have a sheriff.
It's not legal for them to just park there. I mean,
Yeah.
but, yeah, so we are working on all those issues.
Thank you for the time.
Thank you. All right, anybody else in public? Yes, sir.
Hey, y'all doing? My name is Richard Hayes. I'm with the Veterans.
Richard, turn that mic on, please.
I'm with the Veterans, Service Member Veterans and Families Coalition out of Henry County, where we're started out there. We have a big event at Lake Jericho every year. And it has gotten, we just found out today we are #1 veterans event in the state of Kentucky. This has really come gigantically. And we've got a lot of people behind us now. And I come up here to talk to y'all about everything's going on. We've got helicopters, we've got all kinds of stuff coming in here. Young Brands feeds everybody. No veteran has to spend a dime on anything up there, or their families. Not one dime will be spent in anything up there. And I come here every year. It's kind of a tradition to me because you all are such good people. But I'm here to pass this out to the people I always do and see if y'all can help us out again.
Okay. Yeah, just give one to everybody here, and then when do you need the money?
It doesn't have to be night. In fact, you can mail this, but all you have
Well, what I was gonna say, if y'all wanna just get it to me, I'll get it to Richard.
Yeah, that would be perfect. That would be
He'll come by the
fine.
office and
Yes.
pick it up, but,
Just remember, you had to put on the memo, Lake Jericho event, and it's payable to Trimble County Cares. We use our 501c3. That's
So-
why we use with Trimble County
it's a
Cares.
great event. There's hundreds of them that come, and it's just a good event, I feel, for us to support.
This started out with 7 counties is what we started out with. This 7 counties still backed us up on the whole thing up there on this thing right here. And it is just proven to be, it's going through the skies. And I love it so much because we deserve the veterans and their families, because the families put up with a lot through the veterans and service members, what they do.
Yes.
So I will pass this out. And we would like, they told me today to tell y'all, they would like each and every one of y'all to come out there just to see what is going on. Roger has been out there, and they would like y'all all to maybe come out there and see what is going on. We have staff flight, and I got waiting on 2 Army helicopters possibly coming in too, and a Navy thing to come in to get on the lake to do some maneuverings on the lake too now. So it's getting big, 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 big.
What's the day?
I'll give you a flyer here, but just a minute, young lady. But thank y'all for your time and listening to me.
Thank you, Richard.
Thank you.
Just, you can hand those out. All right, any other public?
Olivia's out of town, but
Jacob, come up here. Thank you.
don't take my picture, Joe. Olivia just wanted me to tell you all, on behalf of the Historical Society, that the mural is finished on the back of the clerk's office. I think it looks really nice, but she just wanted me to let you all know that and basically just say thank you on behalf of the Historical Society. So, thank you.
Yes. Yes, and I come down, she texted me yesterday to let me know it was finished, and so I come down the alley today, and it does look good. It made a big addition there. Anybody else in the public? Okay, any court comments?
Glad to be here.
The state fair's coming up in, August again, so we're trying to get the paperwork put to Holly is, basically, I got nothing to do with it, but, except I haul the junk back and forth. But anyway, it costs us $1,500 to have the booth for the Pride of the Counties every year. And she'll need volunteers to help man the booth because it runs for 10 days or whatever that number is. But anyway, any of the local businesses that would like to contribute to paying that $1,500, I told her I'd give them $500, and then if anybody else wants to give some money, that'd be a real good thing. You can catch her at the office. Thanks.
Yes, that's good publicity for the county, and if you do get a chance to go down there and work, what's the dates on that? You remember, Ed?
Let's see, we set up on the 11th of August, and it starts that Friday. It'll be somewhere around.
Turn your mic on, Ed.
Probably the 15th through the 23rd, maybe.
15th through the 23rd, okay. Yeah, so if you get a chance, they would love to have you just come and greet people from the county, and it would be good. All right, any other court comments? All right, I'll take a motion to adjourn. Motion by Brad, second by Ed. All in favor? All right, motion carries. Thank you all. Have a good evening.